Well, g'day guys, and welcome back to the channel. Just received delivery of the Moto tent from Lone Rider. So today we're going to ride down to the bottom of my property. We'll put the tent up and we'll take you through some of the features. At the end of the video I'm going to show you how to get your hands on a free Boomerang biker t-shirt, so stay tuned. Okay, so I've closed up the front door, which should help with the audio. It is a very windy day today, although it's overcast. It's going to get up to about 28, 29. The cool feature about this tent is that the inner tent, the sleeping compartment, stays attached to the outer tent. So on a windy day like today, it makes it a lot easier to put this tent up. You put out two pegs at the back and then you pull over the front bit, peg that down, and again on a windy day like today there are 4 guy ropes which keeps everything nice and tight. Looking at the entrance here, there's actually 3 entrance points on this sleeping cabin. You got one here obviously, and there's one at the rear. So the great thing is, if you do want to put your bike in here overnight or it gets cluttered with gear, you can still get in to the sleeping compartment through the rear of the tent and the tent fly sheet. Let's take a look at the doors. As I said, you've got 2 massive doors on here which you can roll, and there's some little tags on there and you can just hold them in place with those tags. The other great feature about this tent is there is actually a mosquito screen on the back of all the doors. Sorry, on the front of all the doors, let's get it right. So on a hot night you can roll back the red part, roll that back, hold it in place with the tags, and then just have the mosquito section open and you can get lots of airflow. Out in Australia, where it can get really warm, you can open up the whole of this tent. So you've got a door on either side and one at the front. You could open up the back door as well and just have the mozzie screen there, and you would get heaps of airflow coming through there. All right, let's get in here and take a closer look at the sleeping compartment. Okay, so here's the sleeping compartment. As you can see, it's massive. I travel and sleep on a stretcher cot bed, as they call them out in America. We call them a stretcher in Australia, but no biggie. And you could quite easily fit one of those in here, and I think at a pinch, if you were traveling with a partner, you could probably get 2 in there. First impressions, it's a little bit red, a little bit like the interior of one of those establishments out in Amsterdam. Not that I have first-hand experience. You can let some more light in through the back here. So this rear door has a mosquito screen on, as I mentioned earlier. One of the great features about this tent and this door, it's a single-handed operation to open that up. It doesn't snag. You don't need to roll it up and hold it in place with tags. You just scrunch it up and drop it into a purpose-designed pocket back in the corner. Now, as I mentioned, there's also a door here, so you can have that open at night, have your mosquito net in place. 2 doors open here with mosquito nets, and you're going to get heaps of airflow through here. Let's take a look at the rear door. So that's a rear door. You just roll it back and hold the sides in place with, I've been calling them tabs, but I think you'd really call them toggles. That's as easy as that. Now on a good day, during the day, you know, maybe you want to sit in here and look at what tracks you're going to ride that day, or read a book or something, or just have a beer. You could have all the doors open and shade from the harsh Australian sun. At night you could leave that open, as long as it's not raining, I guess, and then you could close up the door here and just have the mosquito net in place, which would give you heaps of airflow going through the tent. All right, let's take a look at some of the exterior features of the tent. Now, as I mentioned at the start of this video, it is quite a windy day today, although very warm. But you can see by having the guy ropes out and closing up all the doors, it keeps everything nice and tight. So I'd really recommend using the guy ropes, especially if you're going to open the front door area. As I mentioned, I probably wouldn't put the GSA in there. I don't think I really need to, but just to give you an idea of size, let's open up the doors, start up the bike, and we'll take the bike in. So as you can see, it's a very windy day today. I'm not sure what's going to happen when I open up the front entrance, but let's give it a go. So if anything, it actually looks better because the wind's blowing through it rather than blowing it over. So we'll just tidy up this front door. Okay, and then we'll start up the bike and we'll put it in there. Stay tuned. What could go wrong? Well, that's the first for me. I've never parked a bike inside a tent before. This thing's massive. Let's talk about safety, guys. Someone out there is going to leave a comment, oh, it might fall over on you. You're probably right, mate. Would you put your bike on a slope leaning towards the sleeping cabin? Only an idiot would do that. So if you're in a situation where you do need to put your bike inside, spin it around so if it does fall over, should I say, and it probably would in high winds, at least it'll fall away from the sleeping area and you won't worry about being squashed to death in your sleep. Okay, I think that's just about wraps it up. I'll close up the tent and we'll maybe do a quick summary. Thanks for staying along on the video. Okay guys, before we wrap up the video, we're just going to talk about some of the safety features and specifications of the tent. It comes in all packed up at about 5.2 kilograms, which is quite heavy, I have to say, but it does sit nice on the back of the bike. It isn't too long. It comes in a dry waterproof dry sack, comes with it, and this doubles up as a compression bag as well. So once you get your tent in there, you can cinch everything up nice and tight. You might have spotted that it comes with a hazard warning triangle, so if you break down or you need some assistance, you can stick this at the back of your bike to get somebody's attention. One step further than that, and I love this idea, especially if you're out in the bush in Australia where it's easy to get lost. It comes with a ground sheet which actually doubles up as an SOS warning sign. So let's pin this out and we'll just see how effective this can be at high level. So the drone's now sat at 80 meters, and to be honest, yeah, you can kind of just see those letters, can certainly see me just about, definitely can see the tent and the reflection of the sun on the bike. So the takeaway from this is, if you ever get lost and you've got your supplies with you, even if the bike breaks down, stay with the bike, because from the air it's hard to see a person, where it's much easier to see a tent. But with a helicopter, a chopper trying to find you, they'd probably be skimming over the forest at a lot lower altitude than 80 meters. Let's go up a bit further, eh? Okay, I'm now at the legal limit for flying drones in this area, so we'll leave it at that. But I think you'll find, or you'll agree, that this is quite an effective solution if you are lost out in the bush. All right, let's bring the bird home. Well, there you go, that's my review of the Moto tent from Lone Rider. It's not a cheap tent, it's about $830 Australian, but as the old saying goes, you get what you pay for. Now, the bit that you've been waiting for, I'm going to tell you how to get your hands on a free Boomerang Biker t-shirt. I'm going to put a QR code up on the screen. Go ahead and scan that and make sure you hit the subscribe button. Then head over to the following website.